discussing payroll module. The example used in the presentation is, let a company has 3 employees and they are providing the following earnings and deductions to their employees. Let the employee names be Mr. A, Mr. B and Mr. C. The basic of Mr. A is 10,000 while Mr. B's basic is 20,000. For Mr. C it is 30,000. While TA we have taken as a variable amount, so it varies from employee to employee. In such a way we have taken in an example. So that's why the TA amount of Mr. A is 2000, for Mr. B it is 2400, for Mr. C it is 2800. Professional tax, that is 100 rupees for Mr. A, 150 for Mr. B and 200 for Mr. C. Earnings we have taken as HRA 10% on basic, DA 5% on basic. TA varies from employee to employee as per the amounts we have given above. Deductions, PF 12%, ESI 1.75%, professional tax, so as per the above amounts. Also company is providing loans like salary advance, vehicle loan, festival loan, and also company is providing a leaves 6 casual and 15 earned leaves. The sequence followed in the presentation is technical settings, payroll preferences, creating an employee, post attendance, that is daily, full, monthly, using biometric devices. Monthly reports, those are pay sheet, salary advice, payslip. Category own preferences, recruitment, training, appraisals, shifts, advances, leaves, statutory forms. In order to use this module, so the compatible DLLs must be used for payroll. Those DLLs are pay.dll, misc.dll, another is import.dll. These 3 compatible DLLs must be used and those DLLs must be registered. After registering the DLLs, so once we have to run this create database. Internally the database will be created. Then once run this payroll patch, internally some process will happen that will create the database. Then run this payroll patch. As per the assumption, we have to create some earnings and deductions. To create the earnings and deductions, we are using payroll preferences. So in this you will find working days. Normally 30-day calculation will be followed. So that's why we have given 30 over here. So ledger posting, if posting is not required to the finance module, then do not post must be selected. If posting is required for all the employees, a consolidated entry is required. At that time we need to choose this. In a finance module, if you want employee wise posting, one entry for each employee, then we have to use this option. So next is, when is the holiday for this company? So you can specify here. Holiday 2 can also be specified if any company is giving Saturday as a holiday. When will be the half day? We can specify all the details. Payment basis. So how the company is paying the salary to their employees. So normally people will pay monthly salary. So we have to choose this monthly salary. In some organizations, the laborers will be working. So for them they may be paying the amount basing on days. For such companies we have to choose the option days worked. So day wise calculation will happen. So next is salary payment. Some companies will pay weekly once or monthly once. So when they are paying the amount, here we need to, in case of labor, weekly once. If they are paying to their labor, we can choose weekly. Normally for corporate companies, monthly salary. So if you want to round off to 1 rupee or 10 rupees or 100, we have to choose this. For carry forwarded amounts, to round off the current amounts, we have to choose this. So whether you want to round off to 1 or 10 or 100. So round to, so whether it is a seal or floor or nearest. So seal means if you have a amount called 24 rupees 40 paisa, then seal will be the highest, floor will be the lowest. In this case 2440, seal will be treated as 25 rupees. If we choose floor, it will be treated as 24 rupees. If we choose this nearest, then suppose our amount is say some 100 rupees 80 paisa, at that time it will become 101. If we have the amount like 100 rupees 30 paisa in such a way that 30 paisa will be ignored, only 100 will be considered. So next, here we have selected as a consolidated entry. In a accounts module, a single entry is to be posted for all the employees. So in such cases, we need to specify the debit and credit accounts over here. So for that, two accounts are to be created in accounts so that we can choose the accounts over here. One is employee salary, another is it can be a bank account. So as per the requirement, we can use all this process. So whether exit interview process is required or not, select month in reports, print documents on save, all these options can be used. So if overtime, if an employee is working for a overtime, at that time how the amount must be calculated for the overtime work, we have to specify by using the formula like VAA. VAA is the variable for basic. If you don't know the variables can be viewed through this. So variables, here it will display general variables. So the variable for basic is VAA. So to which account this overtime amount must be posted, that can be selected over here. Earned basic, we can specify the formula for earned basic. Holiday overtime, in the same way, holiday overtime formula can be defined. Weekly off overtime. So to which account these amounts must be posted, we can select. So as per the assumption, we have taken some earnings as an example. Let us create those earnings now. So to create the earnings, we are using this earnings tab. So what must be the earnings name? It's HRA, DA, TA. How the amount must be calculated in a HRA? So as per the assumption, VAA basic salary into 10%. VAA, as the VAA is the variable for basic, into 5%. TA, traveling allowance, that is different from employee to employee. It's not fixed. So in such cases, we need to specify the input variable for TA. If we don't know the variable, we can check through this variables. So the variable for TA is VDY. Just we need to specify the variable as VDY. The very first variable we have to specify. In the same way, as per the assumption, we have taken some deductions like PF, ESI, professional tax. PF is fixed, VA on basic, that is 12%, while ESI is 1.75%. Professional tax, it varies from employee to employee. For that, we need to specify the variable for professional tax. The variable is VFW. The very first variable we have to use, VFW. Next is, what are the loans company is providing to the employees? So let us assume a company is giving some salary advance, or say some vehicle loan, festival loan. Those names we have to enter here. Next is leaves. So what are the leaves a company is providing? So it can be casual, and so how many leaves are entitled? So some 6 casual and 15 leaves are entitled. In such a way we can define. We have defined the preferences. Next is how to create employees in Focus. To create a new employee, we are using employee details. Then either we can use employee tree or create employee. Any of the two options can be used. So let us create an employee by using employee tree. Here you will find add button. By using add, we can create a new employee. As per the assumption, we are having 3 employees. Let us create those 3 employees. employee name, his alias, code, employee code can be recorded. Category, if we have created category wise preferences, then we can choose the category over here. So what is his basic salary? As per the assumption, we have taken the amount as 10,000 rupees. So that is in which currency? Here we can choose the currency, department, to which department this person belongs to. So next, date of joining, when this employee joined. Assume he joined in the year 2007. So here we have an option that employee wise we can select holiday, holiday 1, half day, his designation can be recorded, salary account. If we have selected employee wise posting into the accounts, in such cases we have to select the accounts to which account the amount must be posted. Employee wise we can choose the debit and credit accounts. Date of revision, date applicable, so whether he is on duty or he has resigned or suspended, we can change the status. Even a employee photo can be attached. Other information like personal information, his gender, his date of birth, his nationality, his marital status, his spouse related details, his contact details, air ticket details, passport details, visa details, driving license details can be recorded. So next is earnings. For HRA and DA we have given the formula. So that will be calculated on basic. So for this TA we have not given any formula. So manually we have to enter the amount. As per the assumption, we have taken the TA amount as 2000 rupees. While HRA and DA will be calculated on basic. In such a way we have given the formula in preferences. In deductions also, for PF and ESI we have given the formula. For professional tax we have not given any formula. For Mr. A, the professional tax is 100 rupees as per the assumption. Loans, leaves. So leaves, how many leaves are entitled? Here we can type. So 6 casual and 15 earned leaves. If any brought forwarded leaves are there for this employee, those things can be recorded through this balance brought forward. In this way, employees are to be created. Not only the default fields, if we require any new field, that can be created through customize. Say some bank number of the bank account number of the employee. One new field is required. So that will automatically appear. So a new field is created called bank account number. As per the requirement, any number of extra fields can be created over here. As per assumption, his salary is 20,000. So he may have joined this in the year 2006, 2005. So earnings for him 2,400, TA, deductions 150 rupees, leaves 6 and 15. So we have created 3 employees. Next is set the payroll date. To set the payroll date, we have this option, set payroll date. Here we have to set the month end date. So let us assume if we have to calculate the salary of April, we have to enter the month end date as 30th April 2010. If we are going to calculate the payroll of May, in such cases the month ending date will be 31st May 2010. Only the month ending date we have to enter. Let us assume we have to calculate April payroll, so we have taken the date as 30th April. To post the attendance, we have this attendance. Attendance can be through swipe card, or it can be through daily payroll, or monthly attendance can be recorded through payroll. So we have an option, either we can use this post full attendance to all. So if we choose this option, then the whole 30 days all the 3 employees are present, in such a way the attendance will be posted. So to record the daily attendance, we are using this daily payroll. In order to use this daily payroll entry, we have to check the option. In daily entries, we will find this display document number in daily payroll. If we check this option, then only we will be able to record the daily attendance. Now, in attendance in daily payroll, now we will be able to record whether on 27th December a employee is present or absent. So if he is present, then we need to choose present. Day wise, we have to record whether a employee is present or not. So if anyone has taken any leave, we can choose as a leave, or half day present, or half day leave, or half day present, half day leave. These options can be selected. So this is to post the daily attendance. So instead of posting daily attendance, the attendance can be integrated with swipe card machine or through some finger scan. To load those things, we are using this swipe card and import daily attendance. If all employees are present all 30 days, to post those things, we are using this post full attendance to all. So next is for which month, all categories. If we now the attendance is posted in such a way that all the 3 employees are present in all 31 days of December. So next is to calculate payroll. We have this payroll option, or we can use this calculate payroll also. So any of the options can be used. In this payroll, we have an option that we can modify the working days. So out of the 30 working days, let Mr. A have. So now the system has posted that all the 30 days he has worked. Out of 30 working days, all the 30 days he has worked. Now also, if anyone wants to change, so anyone wants to make it as a 29, they can change by manually typing over here. Mr. A has worked only 29 days. So Mr. B has worked a whole 30 days. Mr. C has worked 30 days. Now the payroll for the month of December is calculated. To view the details, we are using reports. So you will find reports in monthly reports. So those reports are pay sheet, salary ledger, payslip, and salary advice. To view the pay sheet, select the employees from which date to which date. Then okay. So here it is showing basic HRA as we have given 10%, DA we have given 5%, TA we recorded manually, employee wise. For one employee we have recorded 2000, for another employee we have given 2400 and 2800. So this is the total earnings. Basic plus HRA plus DA plus TA will be the total earnings. Then deductions. So as deductions we have given PF 12% on basic and 1.75% ESI and 200 rupees manually. Professional tax we have entered for each employee. PF plus ESI plus professional tax will be total deductions. Total earnings minus total deductions will be the net pay. So this is pay sheet. Next is normally salary advice will be given to the bankers. So stating that this much amount is to be credited in so and so employee's account. So it will contain only net pay column. They don't want the detailed information like earnings, deductions, all those things are not required. So for that purpose, this salary advice is used. If account number column is required, we can include in this report. So next is To print the payslip, we are using this. So to view the salary ledger, we are using this. These reports will be generated automatically. We have few more things in payroll. Categories own preferences. The purpose of this is, in a company there are two types of employees, permanent and temporary employees. So for permanent employees, we need to give HRA, DA, all those things. For temporary employees, assume that there are no HRA, DA, TA, those kind of things. So to create a new category, we are using this categories own preferences. We can type the category name over here. So what are the categories we have? Permanent. In the same way, one more new category is required called temporary. For them, those leaves are not applicable. So for temporary employees earnings, so we can set this option as no. So these options are not applicable for the temporary employees. We can have different earnings and deductions category wise. For one category different earnings, and for another category we can have different earnings and deductions. So like this we can define category wise preferences. So at the time of employee creation, we have an option that we can choose the category. So let us assume Mr. A belongs to temporary category, Mr. B and C belongs to say some permanent category. Next is recruitment. So to record the recruitment related details, we are using this. So by default, there will not be any format for recruitment. The very first thing what we have to do is we have to create the formats. So let us assume we require a format for recruitment. To record the new employee details, so some format is required. Recruitment. So which type of format we are going to create? So we have to choose whether this is appraisal format or recruitment format or training format. So what are the fields required in this format? Let us assume we require employee name, which type of data we are going to record in this. So how many characters or digits it must accept, length. We can specify display type, text. So all these options, employee name. So whatever fields we have created here, those fields will appear at the time of those fields will appear over here. Let us assume one department may require some employee for their department. So they will raise a request for recruitment. request number 1 by using Biodata Format. Just now we created the format. Select the format for which department? Marketing. Say some sales manager. How many employees required? So assume 1 employee is required. So next is, towards that post, HR may have scanned some data or HR may have some data. Those details HR can record in this form. Just now we created these fields: employee name, date of joining, expected salary and years of experience. If one more new field is required, that can be created through biodata formats. Employee name, say some Mr. XYZ, date of joining, expected salary, years of experience, and one more employee, so that is say some Mr. ABC. Like this, the available data HR may have recorded in this. So later on we have this biodata scanning. For this post, towards this request number, we have 2 employee details. So whether they have shortlisted or just they have rejected, that can be updated by simply double clicking on this. So if it is a shortlisted, then check this shortlisted and click on update. So let us assume both of them have been shortlisted. Even to view the shortlisted candidates, we can use the same screen. So it will display the shortlisted candidates. To view rejected candidates, we can use this. So next is, the shortlisted candidates may have called for the interview. So next is, to record the interview process, we have this option. So for this request number, whether the Mr. XYZ is screened, interviewed, selected. So Mr. ABC, he may have screened, interviewed but not selected. So to view the selected candidates, we are using this. So it is displaying the selected candidates. Next, though the candidate has been selected, someone have to authorize the candidate selection. So they have a right whether they can authorize or they can reject. So to enter those details, whether they have authorized or rejected, so we have this option. So let us assume they may have authorized. When we click on update, so to view the authorized candidates, we are using same. So next is join candidates. So sometimes though our higher official have authorized, sometimes the candidate may, here we have an option that whether we have issued the offer letter or not, whether he has accepted the offer letter or not, whether he has joined or not. So when I click on all these options and click update, so do you want to transfer this format to employee master? Till now the details are only in recruitment master, so it's not updated in the employee master. When I click on this yes, so it will be transferred to the employee master. Automatically it will be transferred to the employee master. The same can be viewed through employee tree. In order to update the recruitment details in an employee master, the fields must be mapped. For that we are using map biodata record with employee master. So against this format, so this is the employee fields: name, date of joining. These are all employee master fields. These are recruitment fields. Just now we created all these fields. So we have to map in such a way. Employee name, which is recorded in place of recruitment field, must be mapped with employee master name. The same way date of joining must be mapped with date of joining, so that exactly the name must be fetched into the employee master and date of joining must be fetched exactly over there. To view biodata related reports, we are using this RFR reports, request for recruitment reports. Here we have an option that we can choose either a request number. We will get the request number over here. If we select biodata format, so we can view biodata format wise also. The options are provided, so whether if you want to view only approved requests or pending requests. If you want to view all, then use this check all. So now the details will be displayed in this report. Request number, request date, department, designation, number of employees required, number of formats entered, status entered by the whole details you will find request related in this report. Next is to record the employee training related information. We have this training submenu. Here on which courses the training is provided, those courses are to be created. To create a new course, we are using this screen. So course cost, starting date, ending date, starting time, ending time, for which department, so description of the course, feedback form. So this feedback form we have created through this biodata formats. So here we have created some biodata format. What are the fields required in the feedback form? So we have created the fields as marks scored, grade, behavior. So the same feedback form will appear over here. So next is training. When a training is provided, to which employee, on which date we have provided the training, grade, behavior. These extra fields we have created through biodata formats. In the same way, employees' achievements and drawbacks can be recorded through this. So, date, incident date, on which date the achievement is occurred or drawback is occurred. Here we have a option that we can choose whether it is an achievement or drawback or warning. So we can enter the description, weightage, save the details. To view training related information, we are using this training report. Here select the employees from which date to which date. Select the format. So it will display the information: employee name, course name, description, date, starting date, ending date, marks scored, grade. Whatever we have recorded in those screens will appear in the form of report, behavior, cost, etc. Next is appraisal. For appraisal also one format is to be created. So the format can be created through recruitment biodata formats. So here choose the option as appraisal. What must be the name for the form? So what are the fields required? So let us assume we require some fields like punctuality, human relations, next is communication, so we have created a format for the appraisal. Employee self-assessment. The employee will record this self-assessment. Select the format. Just now we have created this format. Which employee, on which date, say on 31st December 2010, punctuality. So the employee have recorded like this. Next is his manager's assessment. To enter manager's assessment, we use this. Select the format. So here, when we double click on this, we will be getting assessor, where he can enter so manager have entered his opinion. Next, basing on that, final appraisal. So the final assessor will enter the details over here. Even we have the option that we can update these details into the employee master. So to update, we have to just click on yes. In order to update the details into a employee master, appraisal fields must be mapped so that exactly the data will be fetched into those fields. So create the required extra fields in the employee master and map the fields by using this map appraisal fields. Then the data will be updated. Next is to record the shifts. We are using this shifts submenu. In this, first shifts are to be created. Here, type the shift number and enter the time in, time out, off day 1, off day 2, half day time out, all those details, minimum hours for half day, minimum hours for full day. So all these details can be entered. Late mark, grace time for absent. So in this way, shifts are to be created. So we have created two shifts, that is shift 1 and shift 2. The timing for shift 2 is from 2 o'clock to 8 p.m. So next is assign the shifts to the employees. To assign the shifts, we are using this shift change. In this, select the new shift. So for Mr. B, old shift is 1. If we want to change, we can change this as second shift. This way a shift can be changed. Next is to view shifts related reports, we are using this shifts report. So in order to change the location, we are using this location change. Location is a tag from focus. So whichever tag we have specified for payroll, we can allocate the location also through this. For employee Mr. A, site 1 is located from this date onwards. So if the site is changed, then we can change it as a site 2. So next is to view the reports, we are using this shifts report. So if you want to view employee wise, then we use this. If you want to view shift wise, then we use this. So let us check employee wise. Employee wise, it is showing shifts, category, department, location, shift change date, date applicable from, grace period, half day 1, half day 2. The whole information will be displayed. Next is daily breaks. On a particular date, if any employee is having a official break or personal break, those details can be recorded. So break out, when he went out, when he came in. So those details can be recorded. Reason. So later on, to view the details also, we are using same daily breaks. So the details will appear here day wise. Next is advances. For advances, we are using this advances submenu. Here we have advance request. Employee will raise a advance request. So then advance payment. So let us assume Mr. B required some 20,000 rupees on this date. Advanced category. As we have created categories in preferences, those categories will appear. So vehicle loan, so save this. Next is employee has placed a request, then advance payment. Against this request ID, so his basic salary will also appear here, the whole details. So he has requested 20,000. Sometimes the company has sanctioned only 15,000. So that can be recorded over here. In how many installments we are going to collect this, those installments can be entered. So if interest is applicable, we can enter the percentage over here. So to view the details, so installment details after entering the percentage, we can use this advanced checkbox. So when we check this, the details will appear. So next is, if the loan is rejected, then we check this option. The reason can be recorded in this box. As deduction date we have given from 6th Jan onwards, or if we give as 1st February, from that date onwards deduction will be started, automatically it will be deducted. To view advances or loans related report, we are using this advances summary and advances register. Here select the period, whether you want to view loan wise or employee wise. So employee wise, it is showing the amounts: vehicle loan opening balance, vehicle loan installment amount, vehicle loan new, vehicle loan recovered, vehicle loan closing balance. Like this it will display the information. Next is leaves. To record the leaves, we are using this leaves submenu. Here you will find leave calendar, where we can define the holidays. If a leave is required to the employee, then he will place a request through this leave application. Let us assume Mr. B required some 2 days leave, that is from 7th Jan to 8th Jan. So automatically you will find 2 days. So here it is showing as a weekly off. In the preferences we have defined that Saturday and Sunday is the off for the company. So that's why it will be treated as only one leave. So if we take some other dates like 10th Jan to 15th Jan, so there is one public holiday we have defined just now. So as 15th Jan, it's a Sankranti. So that's why it is showing as a public holiday, and one weekly off is there. Out of the available leaves, 6 casual and 15 earned leaves are available. Which one he is going to use now? Those leaves can be recorded in place of used now. So here save this. Upon the request, his reporting manager can approve the leave, that is leave approval 1. By loading the application number, he will get the whole details. He have to change the status whether it's accepted or rejected. So then if leaves are not available, in such cases it will be treated as a loss of pay. So save this. For second level approval we are using this leaves, then leave approval 2. Change the status and save. If second level approval is not required, in such cases there is one setting in payroll preferences. If approvals are not required, so for that we have to check this option: level 1 approval not required, level 2 approval not required. In such a way we can check or uncheck these options. To view leaves related reports, we are using this leaves reports. Here we have a leaves record, leaves summary. Select the employees from which state to which state. So which employee, how many casual brought forward, casual number of days applied, casual number of days approved, casual number of days taken, closing. The whole information will be displayed. Employee wise, Mr. A, Mr. B. To view the statutory forms, we are using this statutory forms, then PF forms. Here all the required forms will be available for PF, ESI. Just select the form and select the employees. It will display the information. For this, some settings are to be made in preferences. Settings related to PF, settings related to ESI. So after entering all these details, we will get the data exactly into those forms. To take the backup of payroll, we are using this payroll backup. In order to restore the payroll, we are using this payroll restore.